Something ought to be done about all these fires in town.
Oh, Howard, there's no reason to get excited just because of a few fires. And besides, what can we do about it?
Well, what about Mr. Johnson's store, Betty? They say the fire should have been put out sooner.
Well, I don't think that was the fault of the fire
can you say
department.
that,
Nobody
Alice?
turned in the alarm.
How do you know? Do you have any
was a
facts?
fine
That's
old
what I
man.
heard.
Sorry for Mr. Johnson, but it was such an old store. Maybe with the insurance money, he can build a new one that would look much better.
Oh, you're just not using your head, Alice.
That's right.
If there are too many fires in...
Hold it. This is no way to carry on a discussion, is it? Let's see what happens when a discussion group is prepared, organized.
So, besides providing more equipment, purchase of a new fire engine would save a lot of time. They could get to fires faster.
Is that right? Alice, perhaps you have some information on that.
According to the chief at Glendale, they could go a lot faster now if they wanted to, but they always drive as fast as it's safe to drive.
Oh, I see. Well, I didn't know that. Well, perhaps a new fire engine wouldn't save much time after all.
Can we all agree on that?
Sure.
All right.
You see, that proves my point.
Well, now, just a minute, Alice. Suppose we let Howard finish his presentation of the facts.
I believe the advantages can be summed up.
This is the same discussion group properly prepared, with someone leading the discussion. They are beginning to accomplish things. Why? What is a good discussion? What makes a good discussion leader? If you were elected to lead this discussion, what would you do? Well, one of Peter's first moves was to call on one of the city councilmen, Mr. Stewart.
Well, our class in American Problems has been studying the discussions of the city council. We heard that you were talking about the problem of fire safety here in Glendale.
That's good. We're glad to have students interested in the business of the city. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, I came to ask if we, Glendale High School that is, could do anything for you, for the city council. The classes have elected representatives to a committee on fire safety. If we present our recommendations to the city council, are you interested?
Well, I think the council would be very pleased to hear from the students. We're getting recommendations from the Chamber of Commerce, the League of Women Voters, and other community groups. You know, when people get together to think about and discuss a problem and reach conclusions, that's the way true democracies work.
I'm glad the council will consider the school's recommendations. But there is something you can do for me. You see, I was elected to lead the discussion, and I wondered if you could give me some advice. I'm afraid we'll just have an argument that doesn't get anywhere.
Well, to have an effective discussion, you, as leader, must help these people to agree. Not agree with you, but with each other. At least find your majority point of view. We have many discussions here in the council, just as they do in the state and national government. There are three important factors in any discussion. Preparation. You must learn the important facts about your topic by reading or by talking to people who know. Planning. Your group should get together beforehand and make up an outline of what you're to do. Personalities. Considering what must be done and who can do it best. As the leader, it's up to you to help them work together. All right?
I think I have the idea, Mr. Stewart.
Just remember this. Each member of the group should prepare, plan, think of personalities, especially the leader, because the leader must guide the discussion to some conclusion and agreements. In that way, a discussion is not a worthless argument. It's a means to democratic action.
Democratic action. Well, that seems to be what's going on here. And it's partly because each one did prepare himself by reading. And Peter did plan an outline. And he thought of the personalities involved. Someone had to find out about Glendale's firefighting staff. When the personalities of the people were considered, it was decided that Alice would do the best job of interviewing. So she visited the Glendale fire station to learn about the present staff and their methods. what could be done there to improve fire safety. Let's see how well Alice prepared herself.
To sum up, it appears as though the chief is doing an excellent job, considering his men and his equipment. However, he is short of men, and the salary offered is so low that there have been no applicants for the jobs for over a year.
Well, all right. I recommend that he hire more men,
Just a
right?
moment, Betty. We haven't heard all the factors that were investigated yet. Howard, suppose you give us some information on the purchase of a new engine.
As you suggested, I checked into the question of buying a new fire engine.
Yes, of those in the group, Howard is best suited to this investigation. Howard likes to tinker with old cars. He knows about the new ones, too. So Peter suggested that Howard visit a nearby town where a new fire engine was already in use. What were the pros and cons of a new engine? Did it really improve fire safety? And Howard went one step further. He wrote to manufacturers for technical information on a variety of new engines.
So you see, besides added safety for the firemen and more chemical equipment, these new engines have better pumps. I believe that this fire truck will more than pay for itself in terms of increased efficiency in putting out fires.
Well, we're getting to your part of the discussion, Betty. What's the story on cost of fire damage and money that can be spent to reduce it?
Local statistics show that each year the citizens of Glendale lose thousands of dollars.
Betty's interest in accounting was in choosing her for the investigation of costs. Betty prepared herself for the discussion by telephone and personal interview. She also made inquiries by letter, so she could plan her remarks on the cost factors of fire safety.
This fire damage costs the citizens of Glendale the equivalent of salaries for 40 firemen, even at the proposed higher pay scales. But increased city treasury allotments for more pay mean higher taxes. Higher taxes for a long time. Why, we'll even be paying taxes for this.
Well, let's pause and see what our information adds up to. It appears that a new fire engine would be desirable, but would really not improve fire safety until more firemen were added to the staff. However, the city treasury does not provide for the increased salaries necessary to attract more men. Are we agreed?
That's just about it.
All right. Betty, will you jot this down?
Yes, Betty's handling of facts and data make her a good choice as secretary. Sometimes a permanent record is important.
And therefore, we, the students of Glendale High School, recommend that the city council approve higher pay for firemen, even though this means increased taxes.
If the council acts on our recommendation, that'll improve things after a while. But what about right? What can be done immediately to reduce the losses due to fire?
Well, you can't put out fires without firemen.
Yes, but if you could reduce the number of fires...
What was it someone said about, fire prevention?
Prevention, of course. Maybe some fires could be prevented. Somebody ought to organize an educational campaign. But who?
Maybe the school.
Yes, we can help the city have a campaign. Meetings with demonstrations.
Posters all over the town.
Letters to town club.
And discussion groups to arouse interest. So, is it agreed? A fire prevention campaign. Okay, now here's our immediate program for action. Now, as soon as we agree on who'll do what, we'll work out a letter for Betty to write to the city council. Action we recommend, and action we ourselves will accomplish.
Now here's a successful discussion. The group has considered the important information and arrived at conclusions. Reminds you of something Mr. Stewart said, doesn't it?
Each member of the group should prepare, plan, think of personalities, especially the leader, because the leader must guide the discussion to some conclusions and agreements. That way, a discussion is not a worthless argument. It's a means to democratic action.